Back to another episode of my Minecraft Xbox Update Adventures Let's Play. This is the Let's Play where I've been playing through the various updates that have come out for Minecraft on the Xbox, building stuff, killing stuff, and of course destroying what stuff. And guess what? Today I have some amazing news to share with you all, because the Let's Play, which used to be just called like the TU60 Let's Play, then the TU27 Let's Play, etc., is now the TU60 Let's Play once again. They have decided to continue updating the Xbox One version of Minecraft. This is such a cool thing, such a cool accomplishment for us as a community. Again, a lot of people were just like, well, it's happened now, so it's dead, so let's move on. But because of the loyal few of us who are like, yeah, actually, let's keep playing the game we want to play until the other version is better, now the Xbox One edition is continuing to be updated, which means, guess what? We have some brand new update content to play around with on the, the Let's Play. Transferring it is now no longer essential. It's kind of an optional thing, and I'm just so excited about this. So in today's video, I'm going to be exploring one of these brand new features. Actually, I'll be exploring one of the brand new secret features. It's not officially on the changelog, but, whatever. That secret feature is actually to do with growing trees and getting, the trees with vines on, because I want to go to my wood factory a little bit, because that's the place that's now entirely changed this update, and realistically, it's a small change. It's not going to affect the farm too much, but it's something where I figured, let's go chop down some trees. It's Christmas Day as I upload this, by the way. It's Christmas Eve as I record it, so it's a Christmassy time, but I figured, this is mostly going to be about that Christmas spirit of hanging out, playing some Minecraft. So yeah, one of the things I wanted to do is show you, first of all, the distance between my Wooden Mansion build, which I've been working on for so long, and the rest of the world. Like, it's so insane when you go in the overworld, just how much you see. I have to put marking points, because otherwise you lose it. But yeah, basically I wanted to take the whole distance there, and then on the way, I'm going to be scouting out for a location where I want to chop down an entire forest, and then move the wood into my wood factory. So this forest, for instance, it's not a good candidate, but it's an okay one. This forest, it's spruce wood, but otherwise you can see the point, because I like destroying places, and I like setting up the places elsewhere, so we're going to keep going until we find somewhere that looks about right. Okay, that's not quite enough forest. That's like oh, wait, is this over here? Yeah, okay, so we got a flower forest here, and a part of me says, let's preserve the flower forest, but another part of me, perhaps the bigger part of me, says, let's destroy the flower forest, and then let's just have a flower mountain. Yeah, sure, let's do that. Let's make a custom biome by destroying some trees today. So I'm excited. I'm super pumped about the TU60 thing. Again, I really feel like this is something big for us as a community. Like, but for the longest time, literally every other, YouTuber, every other, even a lot of Minecraft players are just like, well, let's move on now. This is kind of done. But I feel like, saying what you believe in, even if even if it doesn't go well in the end, it's still something worth saying, because then well, at least, the opinion was out there and people knew about it. Like, you know how, sometimes you'll say something like, if someone offers you a biscuit or something, this is like a Harry Potter line, but, if someone offers you a biscuit and you're like, oh, no, I'll be polite and I won't take it. Well, if you say no to the biscuit, they'll never know if you wanted a biscuit, because it doesn't take much to say yes. And I'm just saying, it's like that, Minecraft Xbox is basically a tray of biscuits, and, you should just say if you want some biscuits. You don't have to be embarrassed to admit what you believe in, unless you believe in bad things, in which case you should be embarrassed about those beliefs. But no, basically, basically, today is going to be a pretty fun day, because I'm just so excited about that, and I want to show it off just a tiny bit, because I don't have armor stands, I don't use dispensers, but I do have a tree farm, or a tree factory, or a wood factory, and I can take advantage of that. So yeah, anyway, with that said, today, like I said, it's Christmas times, so I wanted to talk about some Christmas stuff, like, what's going on, because, this is my, for a lot of people, this is their extended opportunity to chill with Toy Cat on Christmas Day, so I guess the big thing is, so what do you do for Christmas, Toy Cat? Because I feel like, actually, for the record, I feel like I should mention, not everyone celebrates Christmas. This is shocking to me. I just kind of assumed everyone did. But then you realize, oh yeah, Christmas is still a vaguely religious thing. So if you don't celebrate Christmas, then I feel like you should celebrate the Christmas time anyway. Don't celebrate it for whatever random no one even really cares about that sort of stuff. But you should celebrate. You should just celebrate the fact that everyone's taken some time off. And honestly, I think the cool thing about Christmas, besides the fact that whatever, you celebrate it, it's a tradition. I love the fact that Christmas is at the end of the year. There's Christmas, then there's New Year's, and pretty much no one gets anything done between those days. Some people work, and if you are working, apologies to you right now. I feel like this is going to be exclusionary in a little bit, but basically, I feel like it's cool that there's just this period of year where everyone says, actually, yeah, you're meant to not do that, because the rest of the year, I feel like you should be thinking to yourself, I could do more, or, not I could do more, but maybe, I should do more, but maybe I could do more, but this next 8 days or whatever, it's just that's your time. Do you want to play, one of the games I picked up actually is Stardew Valley, the farming game that's meant to be crazy. You want to play that for 8 days? Guess what? You can do it. The world will accept that as a valid option. And I don't know, it's one of these rare opportunities where you should just be like, yeah, I'll do whatever I want. You want to eat turkey every day? Guess what? It's Christmas. You can eat. Wait, okay, okay. So there you go. There's my Christmas thoughts. But let me tell you about what I do for Christmas, because it's probably, I don't know if it's similar to other people or not. Like, I used to assume everyone had a Christmas exactly the same as mine. But basically, my family all meets up one day, like, let's call it the 25th for Christmas. Oh, there, Christmas, that's today. For Christmas itself, there's all the traditional stuff of like, let's play a couple of board games, and let's all do the thing where we give gifts to each other. Let's eat Christmas dinner, and it's like traditional Christmas dinner, all that nonsense. Although to be fair, I don't like traditional Christmas. Like, I don't like the whole idea of like, because if at least in my family, it's like a traditional roast, right? But the problem with the whole like, let's eat dinner every Sunday or whatever. The big problem with that as a concept is like, there's a lot of vegetables going on, and I feel like if this is the day of celebration. Because what I do the day after, the reason it's not so favorable, is because usually, oh, hello, skeleton friend, nice to see you. Happy Christmas, brother. But yeah, so the reason that I feel like, the reason I feel like it's not as good is because on like Boxing Day, that is the 26th, for anyone who doesn't celebrate it, it's like also just the day of like, it's kind of like Christmas, but without all of those things. It's just, let's just do nothing all day. And, but like as a family, so you feel like you're getting some family bonding going on. I like that a lot. But on Boxing Day through to like, it used to be to like all the way to New Year's at like my grandparents. Now it's like a couple of days after. They just put all the leftover food and like just a bunch of stuff out. And it's like, eat what you want. Cheese and crackers all day? Sure. You want to eat cold cuts all day? Do what you want. Here's some nice bread. Here's some nice cheese. Let's just do that. And that's like, I feel like it's the modern day equivalent, at least for me, of like, how Vikings used to have like huge feasts? It's kind of like that for me. And I have a lot of, I love Christmas, but realistically now, like the older I get, the more I love the days following Christmas, because it's like a Viking feast. Like, I'm just saying, if I was a Viking, there's a lot of things to like and dislike about being a Viking. But I feel like the biggest one, yes, we are talking about how good it would be to be a Viking, but the biggest one is have to be the feast, right? Like, the endless, like, someone will just keep bringing you food until you want to throw up and then eat again or whatever. That's the dream in a little bit of a way, so that's, like, super exciting. But that's, like, all day over the next 3 days, so you can just be like, yep, I'll have some salmon and some ham and some cheese, put that in some bread, and yeah, that's like, food. And this is, by the way, I've told the worst day ever story before of why I ate like a lot of salmon, raw salmon, before like a very important date on like Christmas. And the reason why I love salmon so much is because of Boxing Day. So in a way, it is the reason behind that terrible, terrible, terrible story. It's on the second channel, by the way. I wouldn't recommend you look it up. And it's not a very Christmassy story, but it's like called Worst Day Ever or something. But basically, yeah, there you go. That's what I do for Christmas. We like as a family, but like you can kind of do whatever you want. And I feel like freedom to do whatever you want, it's kind of a powerful thing. Like, you got to use it the right way, obviously. Like, I think it's a commonly said thing. Like, the big thing about freedom is you've got to respect it or something. But yeah, it's true, especially for Christmas. As long as you're like not being. I mean that's like true enough. So yeah, that's what Christmas is for me. It's like a lot of time with like my extended family too. A lot of people, when they say family, they mean like, oh yeah, my mum, my dad, and myself. I don't know why they say it like that, but they do. But like for me, like extended family means like, I don't know, like 14 people maybe, including myself. Like aunties, or like instead of going only up to the parent level, it goes up to the grandparent level, and then all my aunts, uncles, etc. I don't know. Maybe that's the reason I love the Christmas thing so much. I feel like Christmas is like getting. Maybe for less people are like that. Because I was surprised how many people are like, oh yeah, well I go to my dad's house and the two of us, we eat a Christmas dinner. And it's like, maybe, I mean, that's it. I feel like the interesting thing about Christmas, though, is you'll love it, even if it's traditional. Like, most people, like, tradition isn't a thing that happens anymore. Like, doing something just because you did something before is kind of silly. But with Christmas, I feel like it's the one thing where it's like, actually, yeah, we like this. It's like the opportunity at the end of the year to be like, let's remind ourselves of previous years, and then let's just go back to whatever. Also, did I chop down that whole forest? Or am I just leaving? Sometimes when I'm talking about something I care about, like apparently Christmas, I just kind of go on autopilot. Oh man, I wanted to fly there. I go on autopilot when I'm playing the game. That's why I like doing stuff like chopping down trees, because it means I can fully give you my attention while we talk about Christmas. So yeah, there you go. There's my Christmas thoughts. Hope you enjoyed them. But in case you're not celebrating Christmas, or you don't care about Christmas, or you want to get away from Christmas, I mean, I'm sure it must be true that some people hate Christmas. Like, that the Grinch does exist. I watched that movie when I was like 5, and I didn't really understand it, by the way. But you know, there is a Grinch out there, and more seriously, there's just people who like have negative experiences. So let's talk about not Christmas, because part of the, again, I feel like if you tell everything to Christmas, then it's like, nah, that's not good. So instead, we'll talk a little bit about, you know, just other things I've been up to and think about this past week. So I guess, you know, the big thing was actually doing Christmas gifts and stuff. So we won't talk about that though, although it's, again, I feel like Christmas gifts and gifts in general, like I finally learned a strategy to store them. Now I'm like 22. I'm like halfway to 23 basically, and I finally just about understood how to give gifts to people. So go me, right? I'm nailing this. But yeah, more seriously than just gifts and stuff. This past week has been a really big week for the channel. You've probably noticed, but I've been making like videos like crazy, I guess. Like I make a lot of videos, and the channel's been doing really well. Like the best it's been doing in like 6 months or like almost a year almost. And that's like a really cool thing as a. I know personally, I think that's really cool to see as someone who enjoys like how, because for the longest time there's been this just like inevitable trend on YouTube of just downwards, because we're building different pressures, and it's really cool to see that going upwards. So I've been spending like most of every day, like, you know, from when I wake up at like 8 a.m. to like when I sleep at like 10, doing something video related, like checking for secret features or doing this or that, and it's been really cool to see that pay off. Like I try not to talk about it too much because I'm sure for most people it's just like, oh boo, tell us more about toothpaste. But no, I've been like super happy and grateful about that. So just wanted to mention that here because it's like, it's been the bulk of my week, but it's been something I appreciated. But I have been still thinking about a lot of, I guess, weird parallels of like past and future again. Because, I mean, I think about the past a lot. Not only because the past is crazy interesting and we barely know about it, but also because I also find it interesting because like there's so many things in the past where we look at it today and we're like, ah, that was stupid. That'll never happen again. And then we don't take any precautions on like how to not make it happen again. We're just like, let's just assume someone's dealt with that now. And I think that's like kind of crazy that like there's so many things like that. Like for instance, one of my favorite examples is like we think we know medicine right now, right? Like we're like, yeah, we think about 200 years ago, we used to literally put leeches on people and just hope that that cured them because we believed in like 4 humors or something like that. Like there's like 4 fluids you have to balance in your body. Also look, I've got my this is a console exclusive build because of the furnace minecart going around. But one of the things, I like it personally. Like it's getting glitchier and glitchier as time goes on, I think. But one of the things, yeah, that's like something is not quite right there. But also we have so little oak wood. I was like, yeah, let's finish off this build, but really we've just added like another layer to it. Okay, I guess we'll chop down these trees and then we can show off the new secret feature in this update. But yeah, back to what I was saying. I feel like, you know, 200 years ago we're like, oh, we used to do that to people. Wow, that was so barbaric. But do you ever realize what we do to people nowadays? We give them pills, which we know vaguely usually fix the problem, but they have like just a high chance of fixing the problem, and then they cause side effects, which is crazy. Like so okay, this is a fun little personal fact. So the medicine, I've described the whole. I don't know if I have described the whole thing, but like a lot of people are like, oh, Toycat, have you ever considered like, I don't know, cleaning your face for acne? Wow, is that a thing you've considered? Wow, yeah, thank you for the tip. That's something, never heard of that one before. I guess when you expose your face to the public, it's a thing you hear. But the truth is because I've been through like billions, like it's like a serious like genetic thing, and like the way you fix acne, like to this day, the way you fix like any serious acne problem is you have to take this pill. It dries out every part of your skin, like so much that you can't wear normal contacts, so much that like your skin, you have to like add a cream to it every day because it just isn't wet enough. Like you just dry out the entire body, and on top of that, and this is the reason for the record that like I can't take it, it's got like some decent % chance of just like I think it's 1% for normal people, but like 60% if you've ever been, or like 40%. It's surprisingly high for if you've ever been depressed before. But if you've ever been depressed before, the odds are you'll just go off and kill yourself eventually. And it's like, geez, whoa, that's like, how is that modern medication? Like, oh, it probably fixes this issue, but it also causes issues 5 times as bad, and also it only fixes the issue like 80% of the time. And it's like, geez, modern medicine is like several steps behind what you need. And it's kind of like, you know, the way you treat cancer is we radiate your body, and we hope the cancer dies before you do. Like, it's so crazy, the methods we use, and we think they're advanced, because, like, why would we use something that's not? But I know, my point being is, like, history is being made all the time, and it's easy to think that you're just, like, one person in, like, this sea of other people. But then you realize that, like, you know, so for instance, because I used to think that, like, wouldn't it be cool? I guess this comes up because of the whole Bitcoin thing, but, like, if you own one full Bitcoin, you're one of only 21 million people that ever could own one Bitcoin. And realistically, it's way less, like 1 in 10 million or something. Same with, like, Ethereum or something. If you own one Ethereum, you're one of only 100 million people that can. If you own 10, you're one of 10 million, so on and so forth. You know, you can be one of the very few who owns one full amount of currency, which is, it's crazy if you compare it to any real currency. Anyway, that got me thinking, like, imagine what it would have been like to be born, like, 2,000 years ago even. Like, this is shocking to most people, but we have 7.5, almost 8 billion people alive right now. We have, like, a lot of people alive, like billions right now. Yep, everyone believe that? We have like 8 billion people. So, or 7.4, I think. It's really depends on your estimates and stuff. But we have billions of people on the planet right now, as of 2017. When did we get our first billion? You might be like, oh, that must have been like 3,000 years ago. Like, even if you say like, oh no, I guess like 200, 400, 500. It was actually like 100 and something years ago. Like, we went from 1 billion to 2 billion to 3 billion. Like, it's been happening every 20 years that we go up a billion people. But the first billion took, you know, millions and millions, or I guess billions of years technically. And that's just one of those crazy things. But then it makes you realize that back in like, you know, 2000 BC or something, there was only 1 million humans alive. And think about the significance of being one of the only 1 million people. You know, there is 1 million people, just one, and you know, you are 0.001% of the entire population. The way humanity moves is such a bigger part on your shoulders than it is on, like, it is today, you know? Like, today, the truth is like, you can feel like you're small and unimportant, but you can do big things today, but you kind of have to do big things. Whereas even back then, every small thing you did was, like, a serious part of the overall species. Like, I guess even small stuff, like, think about it this way. Like, if you were a cool guy and you made lots of other cool guys, you could, like, convert humans to be cooler. You could make all of us, like, nicer people by being nice or whatever. That's what all these random historic figures did, you know? That's why they're so important. Whereas today, like, you can't really change humans as a whole because there's so many of us spread so far. But yeah, it made me think, like, imagine what it'd be like to be even one of, like, 50 million people, and the change you could impact. Because even back until like 200 years ago, it used to just be the way scientific discoveries were made. Nowadays, it's like teams of people. You used to just be able to be like, I'd like to look into how chemicals work. And you discover a brand new element on the periodic table or something. Or you discover like a brand new like way to do this amazing thing that's just standard today. Like, these things were discovered because, you know, like, one dude was just like, let's find that out. And that's crazy to me. But that's what it takes to, like, push humans' knowledge further. And anyway, I figured I'd bring that up because I think it's kind of crazy. But because it's Christmas and some people are like, you know, I think I lost you on that one, so I can't. Let's tell you all a Christmas story. So this Christmas story is no, I don't actually have a real Christmas story. I was tempted to be like, you know, I'm gonna tell you what I do for Christmas, but I think every one of my Christmases is pretty similar actually. Like, I don't have any amazing like, well, you see, this one Christmas, we all ordered Chinese or something instead of Christmas food. Although, you know, I feel like that'd be a cool Christmas tradition. Like, go get a kebab or something for Christmas Day. Just like Christmas Day kebab. Like, I'd be down with that. You want to start that? That can be like our Toycat fan tradition. But no, I don't know. I feel like before we enter, I feel like traditions are important. Like, if you do something, and believing you'll do that thing in future and then sticking to it is actually kind of an important thing in being alive, in being a person. And I think you really realize that it takes you so many years to realize that, because you just assume everyone does things, you know, traditional things, just because like they don't have any idea how to do anything else. But the truth is a lot of people do something they call traditional, like whatever tradition means to them. Like, if tradition means like every 21st of December I dab and listen to Gangnam Style. I don't know. I'm just making up ridiculous things right now. But you know, if that's a tradition to you, then doing it every year, you know, you look forward to it the whole year. It like ties your past self to your current self. And when we humans exist in this really weird void of like, what even are we? I think it's kind of cool to have these things that like definitively tie us there. Like that's the reason we have friends and family. Like family a little bit more so, but the only reason we need friends and family, because I mean, arguably, think about it this way: there's a bunch of old people who hang out at the house with me, and like I guess young people too, like 14-year-olds, 12-year-olds. Imagine how weird it'd be to like find these people naturally and have them out. You never select these people, but because they've known you so long, because you've known them so long, you can all like act as like checks on people's like changes and personalities and make sure it's all good. And knowing someone who knew we have something called character masks, right? Where every single person you speak to, you're slightly different. When you speak to your parents, you're like this really innocent person, like, oh, I would never do anything wrong. When you speak to your friends, you're the coolest person in the world. And when you speak to I don't know, like every person, every friend you speak to, you portray something different. You're different to every single friend. That's just how people are. I don't know why. It's just a weird little fact. But also I want to find a dying tree. That's my like goal for today. Let's grow up a tree all the way, and let's make sure it dies. We can do that. It's Christmas. We'll have an extra long episode just because I want to see that. I feel like that would be wonderful. But yeah, like knowing all these people and knowing they know you, it ties your past into your present, and I don't know if that is an important thing. Like I feel like it's really fun to just be like, I'm gonna reinvent myself. So when you go to a new form of school, I know like in America it's called like high school, but whenever you like, or even if you just move and you don't know any friends from before, you can be an entirely new person, right? And that is a selling point, but you don't want to do that every year, or you don't want to do that every 6 months, because that's called being crazy. Like being able to reinvent who you are, who you want to be. I think it's useful to do that like a few times in your life, maybe like 3 times. But I think otherwise, like having these obligations, again, whether the obligation means something as simple as like, like again, meeting family is the common one, or whether the tradition is, watching Gangnam Style on the 21st of December, whatever your ridiculous tradition is. Also, I need to like do something about all this stuff I have. I picked up a rose bush by accident. I don't know if I want this. I guess I should bone mill it or something. Oh, we'll bone mill all the trees because we need to do that. Okay. Because I want to get a viney tree. So, bone mill, let's do this. But yeah, back to what I was saying. I feel like, even if it's something like, watching Toy Cat videos. Like, because I watch a lot of YouTubers that remind me of way back, like when I first started watching YouTube videos from 2007. And it's crazy when you look at them and you're like, ah, wow, that's like, how much they've changed since then, how much I've changed since then. But it's cool to have that point of reference, because if you don't have the point of reference, then you have no idea. Okay, so no viney trees yet. Oh, wow, that grew without me even pressing anything. So I think because someone taught me, this is like one of the more embarrassing things I've learned, but I was calling them like, I'm calling them viney trees. And what I was referring to as a dying tree was like the tree with no leaves. But apparently that's like something else. And a dying tree is a tree with vines on. Oh, look, wait, we did it. This tree here, it grew naturally to be both a dying tree and a dead tree. Or like a fallen tree. So the tree was here, but then it fell over. It got covered in vines because it's been so long. Now that's a cool little thing. Look at that. We just found this naturally in Minecraft on the console. So anyway, I'm super excited about the updates coming back to 360. I'm super excited about this next year because of the whole focus on presumably survival and not many games. And in general, I think it's a good thing. I think Christmas is a good time to remind yourself, unless you hate your past, in which case, forget everything. But Christmas is a good time of the year to remind yourself that, like, a lot of the things from the future tie into the past. No, a lot of things from the past tie into the future. And if it's easy to think that's not true, but, like, so much of our world bases on that fact. That, like, if it's not true, you can do some crazy serious stuff with that. But if it is true, then it's good to, again, just to remember, at the very least, what you used to do, so that you can know how you've changed, and you can think, is it good, or is it not good? And that's, again, I feel like the more reference points you have like that, the less objectively bad decisions you'll make in your life. But maybe that's just me. Either way, I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you liked it, you can like the video and let me know, because it helps out the channel a lot. Let us know you do like the Let's Plays. Share if you really liked it. Subscribe if you're around here. I hope you all enjoyed this Let's Play, and I hope you have a Merry Christmas. One more thing break. I go, actually. Have you noticed how every YouTuber ends their videos by crouching and then, like, punching towards the air like that? It's one of those weird just things where, like, literally every YouTuber, I mean. So yeah, there you go. Thank you very much for watching. I just wanted to share that. I won't do that to you, besides that one time. So